Based on recent polling, abortion rights may be one of the biggest issues for voters this November. It's become an issue in the Michigan governor's race, and an amendment protecting abortion rights will be on that state's ballot in November. The amendment would reaffirm the right to make pregnancy-related decisions without interference, including abortion and birth control. Alice Ollstein joins us. She's a healthcare reporter for Politico. Alice, many of our viewers aren't tracking abortion rights in Michigan. What should they know?
So this week we learned that abortion rights will be on the ballot in November in Michigan. Voters will have a chance to be able to weigh in directly, not through their elected representatives, but directly through a popular vote on whether the state's constitution will protect abortion rights. And this is really make or break because the state has a law still on the books from before Roe versus Wade, from all the way back in 1931, that is a near total abortion ban. It has no exemptions for rape or incest. And that law could go back into effect if this referendum this fall is not passed. The law is blocked by now by a court injunction, but as we've seen in many other states, that can always be overturned. And so activists there feel that the referendum is the only secure way to permanently protect abortion rights in the state.
A poll from the Detroit Times and WDIV-TV found that incumbent Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer has a significant lead over her anti-abortion opponents in Michigan. In that state, has abortion really become a wedge issue?
So this is playing a big role in both the governor's race, and I think what's gone a little more under the radar is the attorney general's race. And so in both instances, you have a Democratic incumbent who've really centered abortion rights in their campaigns, made it a leading issue. They're really leaning into being champions of abortion rights. So that's Governor Whitmer and Attorney General Dana Nessel. And both have taken steps since Roe versus Wade has fallen to bring lawsuits to try to block the state's abortion ban and taken other actions. And so they've made this just the centerpiece of their campaigns, and they're really betting that this will motivate voters. And as you mentioned, recent polling shows that that is a good bet, as well as what we've seen in other states with Democrats and independents and even some moderate Republicans being really energized around the idea of potentially losing abortion rights and being motivated to turn out and support candidates who have pledged to protect those rights.
And let's take that a step further. That same poll found that abortion and women's rights are in some ways more important to voters than inflation. What explains that finding?
So, I mean, every state is different, every congressional district is different, but we've really seen the fall of Roe versus Wade, which happened this June, be a huge motivator for people. We've seen voter registrations among women and among Democrats really surge after that decision came down. We've seen this happen in polling. We've seen it happen in states like Kansas, where they already had the kind of referendum that Michigan is about to have, and people voted overwhelmingly for abortion rights, even though it was such a red state. And so people are looking at the Kansas results, they're looking at these polls in Michigan, and they feel that this referendum that would insert protections not only for abortion rights, but really for a large sort of sweeping reproductive rights language, so things like around miscarriage management, contraception, et cetera, would be permanently protected within the state's constitution.
Now that this amendment is on the ballot, could there be legal challenges that knock it out?
So that already happened. And so the Michigan Supreme Court gave the final word this week. But challenges were brought, and the state's Board of Canvassers, sort of this bureaucratic body, actually voted to block certification of this amendment. They weren't challenging the fact that the activists gathered more than 700,000 signatures. The validity of those signatures was not challenged. The Republicans on the State Board of Canvassers said it should be blocked from the ballot over spacing and formatting errors, so typos essentially. And so the Michigan Supreme Court this week overrode that, saying, no, you can't block this over typos. This needs to be on the ballot.
Alice Ollstein, thank you.
Thank you so much.